like to do then is, has there then been discussion, counsel for Travis McMichael, about his right to testify and his intent with regard to testimony in the court?
Yes, we've discussed with him that he has the right to testify or not. He has expressed to us that he understands that very clearly, and he will elect to do so or not do so. The court certainly can inform him that he has the right and that he's presumed innocent and all that, but we've discussed that with him already.
All right.
The court wants to make sure he's informed, right?
Right. I want to make sure he's informed. Yes. So generally what I'll do is swear the defendant in and walk through a few questions to make sure that I'm comfortable with his understanding of what his rights are, since it is his decision and his decision alone to testify. Right. So that's the court's general course. We can do that. I guess what you're saying is at this point, no decision's been made, or there has been?
We're asking the court not to ask him if he's going to testify or not, but the court can inform him of his rights.
Okay. Well, I might have to circle back then as we get into the evidence just to make sure that I'm clear about where we are, but I would like to generally make sure that that discussion has occurred.
Yes, Your Honor, same thing. We have made Mr. McMichael abundantly clear, and of course he already was aware of his rights, the dangers, the pros, the cons, and he understands that it is his decision to make, but we would not be allowing, respectfully, the court to inquire of him of that decision until he's made that decision. He'll either take the stand or he won't, and that will inform the court and the rest of the folks of what decision he's made.
Well, I'm going to wait then to swear the defendants. My understanding then the representation, well, no, let me just do this. I'll make it a much more general inquiry then, just to make sure that the defendants have had that opportunity. If they wish to take any additional time, they can do so. All right. Let's do that then. What I'm going to do is just swear each one of the defendants in for the limited purpose that I just described, and we should move through this relatively quickly. So, if I can get all three defendants just to please stand. Swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
I do. That's a yes or no.
I do.
All right. Travis McMichael. Just want to make sure that you understand before we get started that I have no opinion on this whatsoever. The only reason that I've sworn you in this morning is to make sure that I have a understanding of your knowledge with regard to your right to testify in this court. I'm going to ask you some questions. None of those questions are intended to ask what specifically you have discussed with your lawyers. You have a privilege with your lawyer. I want just some basic understanding of what you know about your right to testify in this court. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. What is your highest level of education?
12th grade, graduate high school.
All right. And I understand you have already spoken with your attorney already about your right to testify in this court.
I did.
And you understand that you do have a right to remain silent in this court?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what that means is that you have the right not to take the stand and testify, and nobody can make you testify in this court. Do you understand that?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
The right to testify in this court before this jury is your right, and therefore it ultimately is your decision and your decision alone whether you do or do not testify. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
No matter what your lawyer may have told you, and again, I don't want to get into any of that, ultimately it's your choice.
That's correct.
You understand that if you do testify, you'd be treated like any other witness in this court, which means that not only would you be able to testify on direct examination with your counsel, but you would be subject to cross-examination by the state.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you need any additional time to speak with your lawyer about your right to testify in this court?
I do not.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. McFarland. Again, I have no opinion either way. You understand that. I won't go through all that prefatory that I just did with Travis McMichael. Again, I'm just trying to ensure that you understand what your rights are before this court. With regard to your education level, what's your highest level of education? Okay.
Some college.
And I understand you have already spoken with your attorney already about your right to testify in this court.
I have.
You understand you do have a right to remain silent.
Yes, sir.
And that what that means is you do not have to take the stand in this court. And I probably should have mentioned when I was going through this witness with Travis McMichael. If you choose not to take the stand in this case, the court will instruct the jury that they can't hold that against you in any way. Again, lawyers, you've had this discussion with your lawyers. You understand, though, ultimately is your decision and your decision alone whether or not you do or do not testify in this case.
Yes, Your Honor.
And have you had a full opportunity to discuss the matter with counsel?
Yes.
Do you need any additional time to speak with counsel?
Yes.
All right, thank you, sir. Mr. Bryan. Again, what is your education level?
12th.
And again, you do understand that you have a right to remain silent in this court,
Yes, sir, I do.
that you cannot be compelled to testify before the panel if you don't wish to.
Right, yes, sir.
You can testify before the panel, you understand that?
I understand.
And the decision to testify or not testify is ultimately your decision and your decision alone,
Yes, sir.
no matter what you may have discussed with counsel.
Yes, sir.
And did you have a full opportunity to discuss with counsel your right to testify before this court?
We have.
And you understand that if you do testify before this court, you'd be treated as any other witness, which means that the state will cross-examine you.
I understand.
And you understand that also if you choose not to testify, the court will instruct the jury that that cannot be held against you in any way. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir, I do.
Do you need any additional time to speak with counsel about your right to testify in this court?
No, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.